Okay, so I just want to take you through the customer management side of the TEXA diagnostics. Basically, how we can record, the formats that we record in, and the information that you'll have available. Everything's stored in the tablet, but everything is printable, emailable, and so on. So what I'll do, I will ignore a lot of other information. We're just focusing on the customer management. So what we'll do, we'll go into truck. We'll pick truck here. As you just see, we've got an alphabetical list there. So we'll go into DAF as a good example, and down to an XF105. Now where I've got a little blue D is where I can pretend to be communicating with the vehicle. So what we'll do, we'll choose the EBS system, and you can see we've got WABCO protocol there. We'll hit start, and then I'll click into demo diagnosis. Okay, so well, it takes us straight into the fault screen. Now what we'll do firstly, just before we go to the live data, we're going to hit, just on the bottom left hand side here, we can hit save there. So we'll do that because I'd like to show you the format of how everything is produced. So we'll hit save on those faults. We'll take a couple of seconds, obviously, again, because we're not live on a vehicle. So it just says recording done. So great, we'll green tick that. Now what we'll do, we'll go to parameters. You can see one of the tabs at the top of the page. So this is all your live data. This is every sensor that the TEXA can find on the ECU for the EBS system. So we can have a scroll down. You can see there's quite a few there. A decent description of each, and then on the right hand side we've got unit of measure and the reading itself. So obviously we're not doing a great deal, and it's a demonstration, so a lot of them are staying at 0, but you get the idea of the sort of sensors that you can look at. So what I'll do, just some of these are fluctuating a little bit. Now, like I said, you're going to be able to view these live, but what we can do, if we look at the top of the page, there's a little grey square with a camera in it. That's basically your print screen. So what we can do, if you just want to look at those, we can click that, the screen will flash, and it's taken a snapshot there. Now obviously that's just for those ones, and you could scroll down and pick a few more and then do that again. Alternatively, if you look in the bottom left hand corner, we've got a filter button. So what we can then do is click through just a few sensors that you maybe want to have a look at. It also alphabetizes it, so it's a lot easier to find. So we'll just pick a few there. Click on the tick, and there you go. So it's reduced the list and made it a lot more manageable. So again, we could go to the top, we could hit the print screen, and it would take a snapshot of that. However, what we can also do, if we see in the bottom left hand corner where it says favorite parameters, I can click that, and it takes us to another screen where it does give us a few other options, but there's also a recording facility, so you can see at the bottom there. So we can have up to a 30-minute record of the sensors that you've chosen. Now what I'll do, I'll just bring that down to a minute. So click that to go, and then at least you can see the format that is produced by the TEXA. So we'll just let that run out. Okay, so it now says recording saved correctly, so we can green tick there. Okay, and what we'll do, we'll just come out of this screen. Now what will happen is we'll now disconnect with the vehicle. So top right here, just closing that down. And what that will automatically do, well, do you want to end communication? Yep, no problem. What that'll automatically do is then, because we've made recordings, we've hit save, and we've also done a screenshot, it's automatically opened up the customer management system. Now here you can see other XF105s in my system. However, what we're going to do, we're going to enter a new customer. So you can see at the top it's populated the vehicle there. So we click enter customer. Now this is where we can put a registration number, a fleet number, a case number, anything that you would need. So we can bring up the keyboard, and in here I will just put knots, just so we can find it later. So we can close that down. Now here you could populate with the VIN, the registration, the country, and so on. There's a lot of information you can add. There's also notes that you could put in here as well, whatever they may be. Click on next. That then takes us to the customer database. Now this is essentially for people who are doing third-party repairs. You can put the customer's information, or maybe you could put some other relevant information in there yourself. We can then, on the bottom right hand corner, you can see save, so we'll click that. So what it's done is created a file in the Texa, so it's agreed that there's a new action entered successfully. So what this will have is any information that you input will show here. It'll give you the date on the top left, reason for action, you can type in whatever you wish, mileage, the state of the recording or the communication that you want, whether it's open or a closed case, and any notes like I said in the previous one, or you can enter some more there. So what it's done is put in here the date, the time, and what we did. So it's self-diagnosis of the EBS system. Now essentially, if you had a customer's vehicle, this would be added to, and you would build up a history on that vehicle. So what we can then do is, you've got view, print, or delete. Now we can click on to view, and you can see the three actions that we performed. So we've got the fault errors screen that we printed, we've got the screenshot that we took of some of the readings, and we've also got the parameter recording. So on the right hand side here, so we can click into the errors. What that'll then do is open up information, again all populated. You can see obviously this has our information in it, but you can see that it's populated with all the errors that were seen at the time of communication and the state of each. Okay, now you can print that. We can do a print preview. You can obviously connect the tablet to your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth printer, but you can also print it to save as a PDF in the usual way. It's a Windows 10 format, so you can see access and the same sort of functions as your own PC. Okay, so we'll just close that preview, and there again. Okay, so then we'll look at the screenshot which we took of some of the readings, and you can see it's a very clear screenshot of everything we saw. And again, you can edit, we can print, we can email, share, again all the Windows abilities. Okay, close that down. And lastly is the recordings that we did of the sensors that we picked individually. Now this is in the same format as the fault diagnosis, but you can see that each sensor is then printed with a line diagram or line graph, sorry, and you can see obviously not a great deal was going on with those sensors, but you understand that that's every 2 seconds, every 3 seconds, and so on. Now you can obviously, if there's certain areas that you wanted to look at, you can highlight and zoom in, but no quicker than a second. Other than that, you'd have to go on to using an oscilloscope, but again up to 30 minutes, so you can get quite a lot of information there. Okay, again we can print, view, save, and so on. Okay, so we can close that. Now what we'll do, we'll just close the system down. Now as I said, all these files are saved in the Texa on the tablet itself. They're all very small files, very low kilobyte files, so you wouldn't have a problem with any storage there. Now what I would like to do is obviously just show you if you've got a multitude of vehicles saved in the system. So on the left hand side, a vertical black bar, you can see there's a customer management wording. So we'll click on there. What that will then do is open up my whole directory of vehicles that have been saved. Now obviously this is examples for all sorts of vehicles and so on, but we can scroll through and you can see all of the ones that we've seen. So you can see the last one that we did was knots, and I can click into there, and again we can see the information that we looked at just now with all those three. Okay, hopefully that's enough for you. Thank you.